my workplace. I have known her since my college days and we have talked a couple of times. But we have never gone beyond the roles of acquaintance. I never had the courage to go ahead and ask her for a date, and nor did I think that it would be comfortable for her to be dealing with a sudden proposal. Unlike many of my college friends and colleagues who went just up front and started texting and flirting with women, or just completely shunned the opposite sex, I wanted a different approach to romance. I always thought that in relationship, mutual understanding, time, and respectable boundaries were important. So, I gave it good amount of thought and observed my love interest to see if we were compatible enough to even go out. You have been staring at her for months. Why don't you ask her out? The guy in the office attire who sat right next to my cubicle asked. What if she refuses? Then you get the answer and can move on to like someone else. He answered. If she rejects. Another man sitting behind Jungkook started with his advice. Give her time and get closer to her. Once you know you have a sweet spot for you, ask her out again. Isn't that kind of manipulation? Duh. See man. When woman rejects a man, it is just that she is playing hard to get. Just play along and she will be yours. The second man who joined advised, for a woman listening to this conversation, she might have her eyeballs shooting darts at this man who is giving this stupid advice. I will think about it. At home, Jungkook was lost in his thoughts, figuring out his own emotions. He was in no mood to play around on dates and finally end up heartbroken. He wanted to make sure that he made a right choice in the first place. He was a Virgo man after all, who is observant and practical decision maker, and who craved for some sense of security in a romantic relationship. In the next few days, he worked out his thoughts and possibilities of him getting married to you. This also included the social aspects, the compatibility aspects, and other in-relationship aspects. This was a hell lot of homework to do, and Jungkook was doing it all by himself. Well, this could be one of the reasons why men didn't like thinking much and put all the burden of thinking in a relationship onto women. He finally decided to let YN know what he felt about her. Therefore, he chose a half-working day in the office where both him and you were free to talk, and he chose a working day when all the employees were present so that you didn't feel uncomfortable and also miss the vehicle back home just to stay back to hear about his thoughts. Are you going to ask her today? He asked Jungkook while they both stood at the coffee counter drinking their beverages. I guess. All the best, man. And don't be disheartened if she rejects. There are a lot of fish in the sea after all. Jungkook smiled, looking down, partially disagreeing with Milo's statement about fishes in the sea. He didn't think that any fish from the sea can fit into his fish tank. Jungkook saw you walking down the corridors striking a conversation with another employee from your department. He wasted no time and ran to catch up with you. YN. He called your name. You turned back to see him walking towards you. In a quick manner, you gave him a friendly smile as he stood in front of you. I apologize for the interruption. No problem, Jungkook. What did you want to say? I wanted to talk to you about something. I hope you are free in the afternoon since it is a half day for us. Yeah. I am free. Where should I come? I will come to your department floor if that is not a problem. He asked for your permission. Sure. Is that it? You asked. Yeah. I will see you in the afternoon. He walked back as YN and her friend went to their destination. Coming back to Milo, Jungkook had a tiny smile. He was happy that you agreed to even meet him. He let Milo know about the conversation just to break his bubble of hope. YN looks like a woman who has romance as the last thing in her to-do list, plus she just agreed to talk to you. It doesn't guarantee a success. I know. I didn't tell her anything about what I am going to talk about. Don't think my smile represents victory. I am just trying to hide my nervousness. He blurted out. I thought so. He took another sip of his coffee. Is it a good idea to just go and tell her your feelings like that when you are not even good friends to begin with? Why do you think so? I mean, if you were a bit more closer as friends, you would at least get to know some idea about what she think about you. Right now, you have no clue at all, plus the chances of her rejecting you is more. I don't care. I do not want friendship or the time we have known each other to dictate her decisions. After all, a relationship should start with mutual unbiased decisions, and not my manipulation of time, relation, fear and words. Milo nodded in agreement. In the afternoon, Jungkook waited at your department entrance for your arrival. You tucked your items in your bag and headed out to meet him. You wanted to talk about something, Jungkook? You found him nervously picking the skin on his hands and rapid eye movements. Please listen to me carefully, YN. Okay. You softly assured. Jungkook took a deep breath before talking. Inhale. Exhale. YN, I like you. You stood there shook yet looked unbothered by his confession. I mean, I have liked you since college days. We were in the same college if you remember. Yeah. I know that, Jungkook. So, I wanted to know if you like me. And if not, would you like to give me a chance and go out on a date with me? Jungkook, this is very sudden. I know. I am sorry for asking you this directly. No. I am glad you asked directly. But the thing is that I am very occupied with work and family that I hardly had any time to make an appreciation or liking towards anyone, so I cannot tell you if I have any feelings for you. But do I want to give you chance? I have to think about it also. Yeah. I mean, take your time. I know it is sudden and you cannot just synthetically create feelings for someone. So, I am willing to wait for your answer. But can I request something? He asked as you nodded. I would really appreciate it. If you could answer me in 2 weeks. Whatever your answer is. It is not that I am giving you a strict deadline, it is just to ease me from the anticipation. He laughed nervously. Yeah. I will think about it. But before you could ask him anything further, one of your colleague called you. YN, our bus is here. Let's go. I should take leave. Sure. Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye. With that you ran away to catch the bus while Jungkook took a very deep breath, relieved that now he had done what he could. The next 3 days, you gave him a serious thought. But there were things you wanted to know more about what he wanted. But for the next few days you couldn't meet him or talk to him due to the tight schedules in your departments. Amidst of all the work and schedule, Jungkook had his heart thumping each time he saw a glimpse of you. Each time you looked at him and your eyes met, and you instantly diverted them to look away blankly, he would get this negative thoughts in his mind. Later on, when you smiled at him while you crossed paths in the corridors, he would get his hopes high. 2 weeks. 2 weeks to just think if she wanted to go out on a coffee with you? Jungkook's friends questioned this tendency. Never had they heard someone proceeding this slow at this stage itself. Dude, I think this is stupid. You should have just asked her for a date. If she was interested, she would say yes, and you both could have figured things out from there. But this sounds a little too much. Who takes or gives 2 weeks just to figure out if she wanted to go out with you? People do take time. And I think, YN has always been a serious logical person. I wanted her to take a well-thought decisions from the beginning itself. I agree with the point. But bro, think about yourself. You are in all this anticipation and nervousness that you are able to focus on nothing but her. Jungkook sighed. His friends were right. Did he make a wrong decision by not following their advice? Should he have brought up the topic like a piece of cake and figured things out on the way? Jungkook was an overthinker for sure. 4 days after the proposal. Jungkook. There is a girl at our department to see you. A female colleague let Jungkook know. Milo nudged Jungkook from the side. Be cool if it is YN who is here to meet you. She won't reject an imported snack like you. He commented, to which Jungkook scrunched his nose. The choice of words to describe him were giving him major cringe. He came to the door to find you standing in the waiting room. The moment you both locked eyes, you gave him a gentle smile which he reciprocated with no hesitation. Hey YN. Hey. How are you doing? I am doing fine. How are you? I am good. I actually came here to ask some things that I should have stayed back and cleared last day. You told me about your feelings. And I am sorry that I couldn't talk to you earlier, because of the department fest and stuffs. You apologized. No issues. I knew you were busy. What is it that you wanted to talk about? I hope I am not disturbing you at this time. Not at all. I was actually free and bored. So I wanted to know. What is your idea about relationships? Why do you want to date me? Jungkook was not taken aback by the question. The overthinker he had prepared so many dialogues in his head for any unforeseen situations. I see this particular relationship if possible as a chance to settle down with one person in life. I would want this relationship to further into marriage. I hope that doesn't sound creepy. I know we have never talked or know each other so well, so it is legit if you want to get to know me as a person without getting committed in a marriage or something, so I thought dating was the way to go. He replied in one breath. What is your ideal type of girl, Jungkook? You are. He answered without thinking twice. I see. What if things between us doesn't work out? Then we will make it work out. Relationship is not just about coming together with characters and habits that are 100% compatible. We might have our differences like every individual does. But I am very positive that with communication, we can learn to respect our differences and come to a consensus. It sounds all catchy. But is it possible in real life? Life is not a fiction, and a lot of people who marry thinking that they will reach a consensus have ended up in divorces. I know it is not always bright and sunny where we can solve all our issues with talks and love. But if we have the need to keep the relationship in place, then I am sure that we will find a way out. What if I don't agree to your proposal? If you disagree to enter into a relationship, then there must be a reason, and I would definitely respect your decision. Alright, Jungkook. I will take my leave now. Okay, YN. See you later? Yeah. See you later. And Jungkook, I will still take my time till the deadline, is that okay? It is perfectly alright. He went back to his cubicle while his friends circled around him to get some crumbs of news about his love life. What did she say? She just asked me some questions. And left. Disappointed by the news, some of them went back to their desk minding their business. She was here to take your interview? Kind of. He smiled shyly for some reason Milo did not understand. At home you were in conflict with your feelings. You never thought about Jungkook in any way, not even as a friend, until he confessed his feelings to you. But suddenly, there was an urge to think in that direction. Growing up you always thought that boys just ask girls out for fun, and then flake off once they are bored. So you never tried involving yourself in love and relationships, but Jungkook appeared more genuine in this topic. The way he talked sounded like he was serious about a relationship, and is determined to make things work between you two, but you were still unsure if he was using the power of his words to appear appealing to women and had a different character underneath. You wasted no time and called your elder sister. It was no surprise that calling your married elder sister was the best decision you took. Her abilities to track down every single information by stalking Jungkook and his friends with the help of her friends and husband was a great help. You wondered why her team was not a professional spy. She made a list of all the details you needed. Past Facebook photos, childhood friends, their current jobs and character. Every single detail was now documented. He sneezed violently once again. You have been sneezing non-stop for the past week. You should see a doctor. Milo distanced himself, putting another layer of mask onto his face. Jungkook sighed. The deadline was finally over. You were ready to give Jungkook an answer. You had called Jungkook to decide a venue to talk about how you both had to proceed. Jungkook arrived at the venue 1 minute before the time you both had decided to meet. He looked into the cafe, which was brightly lit in the evening. To his surprise, you were already sitting there. He stepped inside, greeting you. You both sat down, and made yourselves comfortable for the evening. Ordering a coffee, you cleared your throat to start the conversation. You both were awkwardly silent until then. So, Jungkook. You began. Yeah. I am all ears. He scooted closer and leaned forward, biting his lips in nervousness. I think that you are a wonderful person. And I really respect that you gave me the time to think about this. He simply nodded. The way you were driving the talk, Jungkook already had negative feelings building up. It came true. But I do not want to date you. His heart skipped a beat. His rapid legs stopped moving. His tight lips loosened. His arms that were tensely holding each other lost their grip. His eyes moved away from your face. Oh. I am generally not interested in dating anyone. You continued as his eyebrow knit together, hearing your explanation. I do not believe in dating someone, because boyfriend and girlfriend are very volatile term to be put on the partners. You know how the generation is moving. I am not judging and saying that you are like many other men, but just to keep myself safe. I want to know if you want to proceed in a legal socially accepted relation. Jungkook's mind got further confused. Legal socially accepted, he kept repeating your words in his mind. It just suddenly clicked to him what you meant by all that. His lips curved into a smile and he instantly looked up to see you. You smiled at him, relieved that you didn't have to make further explanations to make him understand what you meant. So, are your parents free this Sunday, and what do they like for gifts? Do they know about your decision? He got all excited as he bombarded questions on you. Calm down, Jungkook. I will give you their number. Please ask your mom or dad to call them and we can move ahead in the traditional way. I can't believe that when all of us experienced men are sitting here unmarried, this single for life, human is the first one to get married. He went there to ask her out for a coffee, and made her agree for a marriage. Jungkook blushed. He was on top of the world. His overthinking finally ended him up in a good relationship. He was sitting on the bed in your room in comfortable clothes. After the wedding and reception, you both were tired. You took a bath and wore a comfortable night dress. You definitely had more questions to ask Jungkook. You were still not satisfied by the first interview you took. Are you sure that you made the right decision by marrying me? You asked him as you sat next to him on your shared bed. He looked at you fondly. I do not know if I made the right decision. You pouted hearing his answer, but I know that you are someone who likes to solve problems. Just like you solve the company issues, you would take time to solve any problem in relation to. You don't mind being in silence, but also enjoy the tiny fun in life. You are one person who would not judge me. And I am sure that I found the best mother for our kids, and you are only person who would make my day better just by your presence. Definitely not a satisfactory answer, Mr. Jeon. You smirked, pushing your hair behind your ears in style, and stood up from the bed. Really, Mrs. Jeon? You don't like my answer? He teased by coming dangerously close to your face, getting up from the bed with you. You immediately pushed his head back. He fell on the bed due to the impact. But he was not the only one to fall back. He made sure that he held your arms and pulled you down with him, making you fall on his rock-hard chest. That is how you ended up in the hospital on your wedding night. You can't write a romantic story properly. You made Jungkook this awkward lover guy. What was I expecting from your inexperienced ass, author? I apologize to all the viewers who were expecting some masala in this one shot.